Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Maria and on my channel I create videos around everything nursing. I also have a handful of lifestyle content. I am trying to get to 10,000 subscribers, so I'd really appreciate it if you guys subscribe to my channel and also if you gave this video a like. Not only does it help with the growth of my channel, it also tells YouTube that you guys would like to see more videos like this. So as you guys have already seen from the title of the video, in this video I'm going to talk about everything nursing school and working. I'm going to be answering, can you work at nursing school? Should you work while you're in nursing school? What are the benefits and the disadvantages? And I'm also going to use my experience to give you guys some hacks and some tips that you won't hear anywhere else on how to make sure you manage working as a nursing student if it's something that you guys decide to do in the future. So can you work during nursing school? Yes, you can work during nursing school. I do know that some universities do recommend or they do suggest that you don't work more than 16 hours a week, and I do agree with this because if you think about it, if you're at placement full-time and then you've got essays and assessments due in, and then you're consistently working an additional part-time job consistently more than 16 hours a week, then that can have a negative impact on your ability to focus while at university. Because do remember and do understand that university for most of us is our main focus. When I was a nursing student, for those of you guys who don't know, I did a 4-year undergraduate master's of nursing degree. I want to say that I probably worked about anything from 70 to 75% of my time at university. All of those were part-time jobs. So those included working at Primark, included working at Marks and Spencer's. A bunch of it was just a whole bunch of retail jobs. Why work while being a nursing student? And this question really depends on what you want to take from it. Some people just work part-time at university because they need the extra cash. That's the category that I lied in. I know some people, will get support in terms of bursaries, grants, scholarships, yes. And some people also get support from their parents. But sometimes that isn't enough and you need to supplement your income by working part-time. Another reason why some people decide to work part-time while also being a nursing student is because they just want to experience something different. They may never have had like a part-time job in the past and they just want to see the experience of what it's like having a part-time job. Every student from every different type of background was working a part-time job. Now I'm not saying everybody worked part-time because there are some people who didn't work at all, but the people who did work part-time came from a whole bunch of different backgrounds. If you do decide that you do want to work part-time whilst also being a nursing student, you have to have a why. Don't just work part-time because I did it. Don't just do it because your friend is doing it. Don't just do it because somebody suggests you do it. You have to have a reason why. And one of my biggest reasons as to why I wanted to work part-time was, one, I didn't want to be broke while I was a nursing student. Two, because I knew that when I finished my nursing degree, I didn't want to go into work straight away. When I finished my nursing degree, I had about 3 months off, and I know obviously 3 months off, money, you might not be making money, but money still has to be spent. So I wanted to make sure that during that time I wasn't broke, that I had money, that I didn't have to rely on other people. And one of my biggest reasons was because I knew that when I finished university, I wanted to buy my first apartment, and I've literally been saving since I was a teenager. And that's one of the reasons why I was like, whether I'm at university or not, I'm still going to work towards this goal, even if I'm just working 4 hours a week, 5 hours a week. Make sure you have a goal in mind. A lot of you guys who will be signing on to your nursing degree, you may have been working a full-time job in the past, earning a full-time salary. So imagine going from a full-time salary to barely making any money. Some people, that transition might be hard, and to try and maintain some normality in their life, some people may decide that actually I do still want to work during my nursing degree, like I said, even if it's only part-time hours. I've already alluded to some of the benefits of working part-time, i.e. making more money, meeting different types of people, but other benefits of working part-time while being a nursing student and while being at university is that you develop so many different skills. I work part-time. In addition to working part-time, I also was a volunteer. I volunteered at an organisation maybe like once a month or once every 2 months. And I developed so many different types of skills, one of them being interview skills. And I use what I've learned to create videos like this on YouTube. And it also translates into other areas of my of my life or other areas of my nursing practice. There were times when I'd be at placement, when I'd be at work, and I'd be thinking, oh, I never knew I knew how to do that. But when I really think back at, you know, what I did in the past, it's like, oh, actually, I can kind of pinpoint the development of this skill to this job that I did, or to this volunteering that I did. So even if you decide that you don't want to work part-time, I would recommend that I would recommend to everyone to at least do some sort of volunteering and to try and get yourself out of the nursing bubble, because it's a fact, nursing school is a school on its own. Even though you are affiliated with a university, it can be very easy to kind of feel like you're stuck in a box in terms of everything you do is nursing. So working part-time, or even just volunteering once a month, once every couple of weeks, just kind of helps you to kind of see the world from a different angle. Working part-time is also, I found anyway, depending on what you do, it's also very good at relieving any extra stress that you may have. Like one of the jobs that I had for quite a while when I was working part-time as a nursing student was actually in retail, and one of the jobs was Primark, and folding clothes, putting refunds through the till, it's like the easiest thing ever. So would I recommend that you work part-time whilst also being a nursing student? Like I said, I would recommend it solely based on the benefits, but you yourself have to look at what type of person you are and what it is that you want from not just university, but what it is that you want during this period of your life. Also look at what it is that you want long-term. Like I said earlier on in the video, one of my main motivations for working part-time during nursing school is because I knew that when I finished my degree, I did not want to be broke. Even though it wasn't an immediate goal, it was a goal that was 3-4 years down the line, it still served a purpose. So now we're going to go into things that I would do differently, hacks, like literally guys, tips and advice that you probably won't hear anywhere else when it comes to, you know, you working part-time whilst also being a nursing student. The first thing that you should do is pick a job that has the minimum hours possible. When I was working at Primark, this was actually job number 3, not job number 3 in terms of working 3 jobs at the same time, but it was like I did one job, then I left, did another job, then I left, and then I worked at Primark. I was working a minimum of 8 hours a week. I had 4 hours on a Saturday morning, and then I had 4 hours on a Sunday morning. On weeks when you're super busy, you know that you can commit to the 8 hours, and in weeks when you have more time, and if you do want to do overtime, then the option for you to do overtime is always there. I found that when I was at placement, because at my university it was blocks, so you had blocks like a 12-week block of placement and then a 12-week block of theory. I found that when it was the block of placement, I only really could commit to the 8 hours. Most of the time I just did maybe 8 to 10 hours a week, and then when it was blocks of theory, I could do more shifts, I could do more overtime. For those of you guys who maybe work in retail or maybe work at, you know, really easy jobs like Primark or McDonald's, I'm sure you guys understand that overtime, at the time anyway, was really easy to come by. Obviously with everything that we're going through right now, overtime really isn't even a possibility unless you're working in a job where the demand for what they're doing has increased. The second thing that I would also recommend coming off that is maybe consider a job that has a 0-hour contract. I know a lot of people that did this. One of my friends actually did this. As well as her working part-time at a different job, she was also signed to a job that had a 0-hour contract. And the first 0-hour contract type of job that comes into mind is that consider joining a nursing agency. Before I started my nursing degree, I knew like nursing agencies was a thing. You've got agencies for everything. You can work contract or locum in any profession, so I knew it was a thing. But when I thought of, you know, 0-hour contracts for nursing agencies, I thought it was just in relation to band 5 registered nurses. But like I've mentioned in one of my other videos, nursing is not a protected characteristic. So when they say nursing, they don't just mean band 5 registered nurses, they also mean very senior nurses, and they also mean, you know, nursing assistants, healthcare assistants, auxiliary nurses. So if you are on your nursing degree and you know, you are looking for a 0-hour contract, consider working as a healthcare assistant with a nursing agency. The benefit of this is that, you know, because it is, you know, based on a PRN basis, you work when you want to work. They can call you up on a Saturday and be like, hey Maria, we've got a night shift today, or hey Maria, we've got like a day shift next week, we've got a day shift on Wednesday, would you like to work? and then on the spot you can say, yes, I would like to work, or you can say, actually no, I want placement, actually no, I've got something else planned, I don't want to work then. And then they may call you like 2 weeks down the line or a week down the line saying, hey, we've got another shift. Some agencies are even smart about it. Rather than them calling you up, they may have an app that you can download, and you can just scroll through your app and see what shifts they have available. And I feel like working as a nursing assistant on a 0-hour agency basis is really beneficial for student nurses, because one, you're a student nurse, and when you do sign on to your nursing degree program, the first 3 months or so, you'll do all of the mandatory training. You'll do like, I believe you do some sort of base, if my memory serves me right, you'll do like basic life support, you'll do moving and handling. These are all, these are all qualifications, these are all training that the nursing agency really likes to see, because they know that you're a nursing student and that you've already done all of the basic mandatory training. It means that if you do sign up to them, you can literally sign up to them on a Monday and then on a Friday work, you know, job as a healthcare assistant if it's something that you choose to do. Another benefit that, you know, some student nurses cite when working as a healthcare assistant on a 0-hour contract is that they feel that it gives them more confidence and it gives them more exposure. Obviously, you know, nursing is a continuum. You're not just like a band 5 registered nurse. There's levels to it, and working as a healthcare assistant will really help you develop and kind of see skills that are foundational to nursing. Based on my experience, I made the decision when I was a nursing student that I didn't want to work as a healthcare assistant on a 0-hour PRN contract. And the reason why I didn't want to do that, or the reason why I decided not to do it, was just because of some of the disadvantages associated with it, or some of the disadvantages that I felt were associated with it. And the really main and the sole one that I could think of was, obviously, I'm a nursing student. Everything almost 24/7 is nursing. Essays are nursing, placement is nursing. I then didn't want my part-time job to be related to nursing again. I'm the sort of person where I like to do like different things. I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. I like to explore different areas. So if you're that sort of person, then maybe joining a nursing agency may not be the best option for you. But if you're the sort of person where you don't mind, then I know a lot of people who were nursing students who did that and who really enjoyed it, and the pay was actually quite good as well. You know, some nursing agencies will pay you, you know, £15-20 an hour to work as a healthcare assistant, in comparison to working at Primark where you're maybe only getting £6 or £7 an hour. So yeah, it's down to you to make that decision, but that is definitely an option. Another thing that you should consider if you do decide to work part-time alongside your nursing school studies is to consider getting a job on a part-time temporary basis with your universities. We know universities that have open days, they have sports days, they host, you know, events internally and also externally, and when they do that, they need people to work on a part-time and on a temporary basis. It could be, you know, a contract for 3 months, it could be like a contract for 1 day. I know a handful of people on my nursing degree who actually did decide to do this, and it was a quick and a easy and a fun way to make money. So maybe consider that. Working on a part-time temporary basis with your university comes with its advantages and disadvantages. Advantages are the pay is generally quite good, the location is generally quite good as well because it is with a university. But one of the disadvantages is that because it's quite attractive in terms of the location, the pay and the contact hours, it is quite competitive. The final tip, the final hack that I want to share with you all when it comes to, you know, working part-time and also being a nursing student is that make sure you try and build a great rapport, or make an active effort to build a great rapport with your manager. This is something that I never really did. Like, obviously I had a decent relationship with my manager, I'm work, I come to work, you pay me, that's it. But I never really like made an active effort to make it flourish and to make it as good as possible. Does that make sense? Yeah, I never really made an active effort. And I know one of my mates at the time, she had a decent relationship with her manager. And the reason why it really worked in her favor is because, again, at placement, when she was super busy, she didn't do as many hours. However, if she was going to go on holiday, she could just go to her manager and be like, hey, I'm taking holiday, I'm going on holiday, can I have, you know, 2-3 weeks off? And her manager would just give her the time off just because she had a good relationship with her manager. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was informative. I kind of used my experience to give you guys tips, advice and hacks on how to manage working part-time as a nursing student, and if it's something that you guys should consider. If you guys would like to see more videos like this, make sure you give this video a like. Also make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.